The Driftwood Tavern, in the city of Neverwinter, is known to attract the more seedy underbelly of the population. It is dark and moody, with torch-lined stone walls, and the stench of unwashed sailors, spilt whiskey, and spit tobacco. Stone booths are carved into narrow hallways, and wooden lofts accessed only by fishnets and ropes sit perched above the labyrinth of rooms. And in the shadows and hushed tones and on the vow of past coin, no good dealings and shady exchanges often happen, and often are met with blind eyes from the store's proprietor. But not on the night our story began. With a clash of steel and the storming of feet, a raid of Neverwinter soldiers stormed the Driftwood and arrested all those inside they suspected of crimes and no goodness. Among these criminals, thieves, and murderers were a human cleric and a halfling rogue, arrested for crimes they did not commit and for simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Shackled and stripped of their belongings, they were brought to a holding cell, awaiting trial and presumably death. Left to linger among actual persons of danger, the two struck a bargain with the guard, a half-orc, Oliger Ollie Brushkin, and his pet wolf, Flapjack. Ollie's good and noble friend, Gundren Rockseeker, a dwarf, had offered to pay him 10 gold pieces to move a wagon load of provisions from Neverwinter to the rough mining town of Phandalin, a few days south of the city. Oliger, often the brunt of hate crimes against half-orcs, would have gladly done it for free. But the extra gold couldn't hurt. Gundren and a human knight, Sildar Hallwinter, left a 10-day beforehand on horseback and told Oliger that they would send for him once they arrived in Phandalin, but he had not heard from him. Worried and motivated, Ollie looked to the two jailed adventurers and saw a way of ensuring his safe passage and finding his friend. Agreeing to travel with Oliger, the four, gathered up a few days of provisions, a basic map of the area, 2 old oxen, and headed off down the high road. While the high road is a bustling trade thoroughfare, commonly patrolled and frequently traveled, the Tribor Trail, which juts off towards Phandalin, is the complete opposite. The trail is perilous, and the team had to slow down to avoid deep ruts where a wheel might get caught, or where large boulders took careful maneuvering. But our crew, ever growing more and more a crew, were about to be tested more than they could ever imagine. Just as they turned around the bend, they fell into an ambush by menacing Cragmaw goblins. And yet this newly formed friendship is strengthened through hard work and diligent fighting, and the team arose victoriously. They left with a bit of loot off the bodies, and the rogue collected a new pet frog, Officer Justin. But another tragedy befell them. At the site of the ambush, they found the slaughtered horses and belongings of Sildar Hallwinter and Gundren Rockseeker. Seeing drag marks, the team followed the trap trail to a secret hideout built into a cliffside. Entering the cave brought much tragedy, as they suffered their first true injuries and their first real loss. Our beloved half-wolf, Flapjack, succumbed to his injuries of battle and died. And Oliger, well, he could hardly go on. Perhaps fueled by revenge, or just given very few other options, they battled through the caves against the goblin menace and came out the other side, victorious against the leader, a bugbear named Clarg. And it seemed that Flapjack would not have died in vain, for they were able to recover a very injured Sildar Hallwinter. After the cleric healed his wounds, Sildar was happy to share what had befallen him. His information, along with some coerced out of the goblins, allowed the team to take stock of the situation. Gundren was taken to Cragmaw Castle, along with a very special map of the Wave Echo Caves, a magical mine that was thought to have been lost hundreds of years ago. His kidnapping was on the direct orders of someone, or something, known as the Black Spider. As the sun set over the stone ruins, the team arrived in Phandalin, tired, sore, and ready for a night's sleep, in a warm bed or a soft pile of straw. Oliger, seeing discrimination in the small town for his unmistakable orcness and heartbroken over the loss of Flapjack, headed back, alone, to Neverwinter, swearing to always remember the friends who fought so valiantly by his side. The cleric, Grim the Reborn, and the rogue, Jillian, have learned much over the last few days. They have heard tales of murderous thugs. They have been tempted by offers of gold. They have familial ties and ties of revenge. They have already advanced their skills and their friendship, and why they both have secrets to be kept from one another, from family, and certainly from enemies, for the moment, alive and in a place like Phandalin, they somehow feel that this is exactly where they're supposed to be.